on GoMileHigh.com.
GoMileHigh.com. Are you freaking kidding? GoMileHigh.com.
No, it's not Arsenio from L.A., it's not Oprah from Chicago, it's not Leno from Burbank, it's not Joe Franklin from Secaucus, and it's certainly not Letterman from New York. It's just a shotgun away from the fine neighborhoods in the revered, reviewed, and remodeled Lakewood, Colorado. Climb aboard, but watch your step. It's the Michael Titus Show on GoMileHigh.com. And here I am, the star of the show, the broadcaster of brazen mendacity and blatant prevarication, manager extraordinaire, the Rocky Mountain Mouth, Michael Titus. And at this time, I'd like to give a shout-out to the host of the Weekend Wrap-Out, the Big Bone Babe Magnet, the only guy I know who's a fan of Kevin Garnett and Keith Urban at the same time. He's Baby KJ. He is Kevin Kistner. Kevin is an up-and-comer broadcaster in this broadcasting field, and he plans to have a long and lasting career. And Kevin, much like another guy that I know, just celebrated a 35 anniversary, 35 years in the business of broadcasting, and we're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about also from this week in wrestling history, memorable moments of a formation of a greatest group, a gruesome moment in wrestling history, and from this, the last time that the title changed hands in the state of Colorado was in 1997. There's going to be a promo of the week. I got Randy Savage, something that I thought was pretty interesting that he did. And we're going to be talking about the shows from this past Sunday night, NEW, show from last Wednesday night, Bad Company Productions, and of course the upcoming shows for this weekend. But at this time, I'd like to introduce to you my guest. He is all the way right here in the studio, Mercury Matt Yaden.
How's it going, Michael?
It's going quite well. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Now, you know, a lot of people don't know this, but the only opportunities that we've had to work with each other was the time in which you were in that six-man tag because Franco D'Angelo and that bimbo, that pigtailed pachyderm, decided that she had to stick her nose in my business and I had to shut her up once and for all, and you decided that with your then friend, Paul Diamond, that you were going to stick your nose in my business.
Well, we didn't feel like what you were doing was the right way to handle it, so, you know, Paul Diamond used to take the high road with me, doesn't anymore, but we took the high road and we worked with Franco to try to kind of put an end to your shenanigans, if you will, and obviously that didn't work out as we had planned. You ended up wrestling Angel Dean in a pretty competitive match, I have to say, but eventually you came on top, and, you know, I might not agree with everything you have done in NRW, but you proved to be not only a manager extraordinaire, but I believe you're 2-0 in the ring, you know, wrestling, competing, so it is what it is, but yeah, we crossed paths that one time. I wrestled a couple of your guys, I believe Jason Knoll at one point. I believe you had something to do with his victory there, but
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do anything. It was all him on his own. He's the Diamond Standard. I've taught him everything that he knows, and what he didn't know, I took him to the Diamond Exchange, and Diamond Dallas Page taught him other things.
I don't even know what to say about that, but
obviously
yeah.
You don't. I mean, so for those of you out there that don't know anything about Mercury Matt Yaden, please, Matt, tell us about the history, where you've come from, why you got into the business, and where you plan on going from here on out.
Well, I started in Mansfield, Ohio in 2001 was my first ever independent match. I started with NRW in Ohio. It was a group of individuals that actually started an unconventional way in someone's living room. So it was back in the kind of the backyard boom. I met a bunch of guys that kind of got into it. We eventually kind of self-taught ourselves as much as we could, which is not the right way to go, I might add. But at the time, I didn't know any better, you know, 19 years old. And met an independent wrestler locally named Jay Kilgore in Mansfield that came and he saw potential in a few of us, and he offered to train us if we allowed him to kind of help us right the ship and take NRW in the right direction. So we got a year's worth of pretty quality training. I still communicate with Jay, and I owe pretty much everything I've got to him in terms of wrestling. And wrestled there till 2003. Started hitting the indies, you know, around Ohio and Michigan, Kentucky, and Tennessee, and then moved out here in 2003 and started wrestling for IWF. At the time, HVW was around, and kind of got involved with the Colorado scene, which isn't nearly as big as it was out east, especially in the early part of the first decade. But years of doing that, I kind of had a different opinion of what it should be and what I wanted to see in independent professional wrestling, because I do believe it's professional wrestling. So I decided in 2010 to bring back NRW and kind of take some of the excitement and some of the kind of raw energy that we had as a group in Ohio, transfer it over to a more professional look here in Colorado. So I think in the first couple years of our existence, we've done a pretty good job of that, and I still strive to have the most professional product, not just in Colorado, but anywhere that you can find it. So with the help of Swan Christopher, he's helped me bring that extra edge of professionalism, and we just keep on moving forward. But that's kind of a little history of where I came from.
How did you find Swan Christopher? I mean, as far as I heard, he was just some mime, a street performer on the, out there trying to work for nickels and dimes, and all of a sudden now he's the big-time owner of New Revolution Wrestling. How is that even possible?
Well, what happened is I, again, was running this on my own and worked with Oh Yeah Productions. Dan Prock, who has been great, a great guy, and if you get an opportunity, go check out them, ohyeahproductions.com. I'll try to spread the word. They have a good positive message. And he knew Swan from a shoot they had done together, a modeling show, and he had sent an invite out to all of his contacts about NRW. So he thought Swan would be interested. Swan runs a YouTube channel, C Swan, and he wanted to come do a sports wrap-up with Vic Lombardi, actually, of CBS 4. So he showed up to just film the show and kind of get some interviews. And he loved what he saw. He thought that the product looked professional, looked exciting. The crowd was obviously excited. So he approached me about partnering and possibly even, basically buying the company from me, taking over, and helping me take NRW to the next level, which you can only get so far with just the action itself. He wanted to bring his production and his acting and those talents to the table. So that's where Swan came from.
Well, how can he have this inflated ego that he thinks he's better than everyone else, and now he's, threatening legal accusation, and there's going to be some injustice that he's going to place against me? Who does he think he is? Does he come from money? I don't think he comes from money.
I don't know his financial background. All I know is he's come in and he's turned...
How come you don't know his financial background if you're in partners with him? I didn't even know you owned NRW. All of a sudden, I thought it was just that affirmative action man.
Well, he runs it, basically. I still handle the wrestling elements of it. But, financially...
Oh, that's why, because you can't teach me anything. So that's why I didn't know that. That's why I see now that all of the mystery is unraveling here. That is for sure. But no, come on. Tell me some more about this Swan Christopher and how you think he's so great.
I had a great feeling about the guy. He came in, he loved what he saw, and he threw his trust into a gentleman he didn't know very well. And I, in turn, threw my trust into what he had. And we had a good meeting, and I believed he could take me with his background to a level that indie wrestling has not been able to see out here because we just haven't had the tools and the connections. He has a lot of connections with a lot of people in the production field. The CBS 4 piece with Vic Lombardi, who is prominent here in Denver, was a direct result of Swan's relationship with those people. So, again, financially, I wasn't. I didn't look into his financial past. Maybe I should have, but he has in a year proven himself worthy. He's thrown his all into this, and that's all I needed to see. So.
Well, hold on to that thought. I've got some more questions regarding NRW and Swan Christopher when we get back. This is the Michael Titus Show right here on GoMileHigh.com.
Go Mile High. You're listening to GoMileHigh.com.
It's that moment when a person becomes something greater than themselves. The sports talk show host sets up to the microphone. He knows the pressure is on to deliver a spectacular performance. He drops back, hands the toss to his co-host. His co-host tosses back. It's a flea flicker. The host bombs it down the field, and the audience receives a touchdown. Oh my goodness, I can't believe what just happened.
We love sports, and we love to talk about it. GoMileHigh.com. Colorado sports lifestyle.
Catch your breath.
Hey, John, why do you keep hitting yourself in the head with that hammer?
Well, I found this really great home. It's a Fannie Mae foreclosure, and it needs